Packers, Vikings. Vikings win. All they have to do is go to Ford Field. I say it like it's easy. They have to go to Ford Field the next weekend. They win that game. They're the number 1 seed. It's amazing to think that the Vikings have a chance to take the number 1 seed from the Lions.
Yeah, and it's amazing to think that we'd all, and I'm sure you did too, as a close Vikings observer for many years, that we all buried the Vikings at the beginning of the year, and I guess it was based on losing Kirk Cousins. And look, I don't want to say, oh, that's insignificant. Kirk Cousins was a good quarterback in Minnesota for many years, but it's almost like we treated the departure of Cousins like the departure of Tom Brady, Drew Brees, like one of these guys that, you can never get another guy like that. Like we said what we said, like thinking back, how foolish we were. I'll start with me. How foolish. You got Kevin O'Connell as an offensive coordinator. You got Brian Flores as a D coordinator. You already had Justin Jefferson. You already had Jordan Addison. You pick up Aaron Jones in free agency. You got to get, you have good pieces there. And if you think I can get good, decent quarterback play, I didn't think they'd be in contention for the number 1 seed, Mike, but we should have looked at it and said, hey, this team can make the playoffs. But I don't think many people had the Vikings even making the playoffs. So this is
not me.
It's really it's really a tribute to what they have, what they've built, and the coaching job, obviously, of Kevin O'Connell. I love this game. I love this matchup, and I have no idea who to go with. I'm not leaning in any direction right now. I'll let you and Sims on the picks guide me there. I have no idea how this one's going to go.
Well, we disagree on that one. I took the Vikings getting 1. Getting 1. Can you imagine a 13-2 team getting 1 at home in Week 17? It's unbelievable, but that's how good the Packers are. I didn't expect the Vikings to be this good. I didn't expect them to be a playoff team. We kind of throw our darts before the season and pick our playoff teams in both conferences. And I actually, for the most part, I kind of got lucky, more lucky than not, pending what happens in the South and the West in the NFC. But I didn't have the Vikings, did not have the Vikings. And I don't think many people would have thought the Vikings would make it to the postseason, much less be 13-2. Kevin O'Connell, the first coach in franchise history with multiple 13-win seasons, and it's only his 3rd year on the job.
That's crazy.
So, look, but the Packers are good enough to go in there and win. Jordan Love is playing better and better. He's having that late-season surge that we saw last year. They made the investment in Josh Jacobs in the running game. The offensive line's good. The defense keeps getting better. They probably are not going to have Jair Alexander, which hurts because he does a great job against Justin Jefferson. But, look, when they played in Week 4, Jordan Love was coming off of the MCL injury. The Vikings were up 28-0 before you knew it at Lambeau Field. The Packers scratched and clawed and came back. The Vikings had to hold on for dear life to win. This will be an interesting reset because the Vikings are better now, too. We keep talking about how much better the Packers are. The Vikings are better than they were at that stage of the season. Something happened second half of the Cardinals game, Week 13, that woke the Vikings up and has pushed them to a higher level of performance, especially on the offensive side of the ball. With Sam Darnold and Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson's got 5 touchdown receptions the last 4 games, had 144 yards against the Seahawks on Sunday, had the game-winning catch, incredible throw from Sam Darnold. So, again, every once in a while you get a team that despite the fact that they keep winning, most people are like, it's not going to last. And I feel that way. I think they're going to win the next 2 and get the 1 seed, but then it's like, they probably won't win in the playoffs. And that doubt, at some point, that doubt fuels you. Being an underdog at home when you're 13-2. And I know some people don't pay attention, but a lot of players do, and a lot of coaches do because they're looking for anything to motivate their players. The Vikings are underdogs to the Packers when they've already beaten them and they're 13-2. That can be used to piss some guys off in the locker room.
Yeah, it can be used. Players look at anything. I saw you and Rodney talking before, last hour, and I could see Rodney going back when you were asking him about the Lions and their approach. I could see Rodney, the player. I was laughing because I can see Rodney. I can still see him standing at his locker at Gillette Stadium, just really getting pissed off, just thinking about any type of slight. So he was doing the same thing with you, and it was very entertaining because he's putting himself in the position of, what, you're going to tell me to hold back? No, I'm going all out for this game. And so you're making a great case that Dan Campbell should, mix in a salad every now and then. Dan, it doesn't have to be all this. And Rodney's like, no, it's all steak. This is what we do. And so I think players think that way. Any kind of slight that they perceive, they'll expand that thing. They'll exaggerate it to their advantage. And the reality is, yes, they should be underdogs, not because the Packers are better, but people look at it, okay, you beat the Vikings, already won one of these games. The Packers are not far behind the Vikings. It's hard to just sweep a really good team. We'll make you 1-point dogs. Okay, you're a 1-point dog not because we don't have respect for you, we have respect for them too. So it makes sense, but the Vikings will use it to their advantage.
Oh, absolutely. And look, I think the Vikings should be able to win this game. It's going to be fun to watch. It's one of only 2 games that gets started late afternoon window on Sunday, and we'll see if the Vikings can pull it off and set up a winner-take-all showdown with the Lions Week 18, which might end up on NBC to wrap up the regular season. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.